Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford using Polychromos pencils. We have a little bird down here to do today. I am going to come in a little closer now. We have lots of gemstones, which I know can be quite scary for some people. I've had a fair bit of practice, so I'm hoping that I can do something okay with it. I'm actually going to start with this really big gemstone first, and we're going to play with some reds and actually some sort of dark pinks. I'm just going to grab them. Right, I'm going to start with the dark red. Okay, this Polychromos. I'm going to start with this one here, and I am going to make this edge here really dark. Okay, so layering it up a lot, and then I want this bit to be light, so I'm going to gently reduce the amount of colour just by doing less layers until I get down to this tip like that, and hopefully you can see the difference between there and there colour wise. Now I'm going to grab a different colour. This is the alizarin crimson, and I'm going to do this one here. This time I'm going to make a different section dark, this section here. So layer it back and forth and then start to fade it a little bit so that this corner here is your lightest. There we go. Okay, next is madder, needs a sharpen. Here we go, madder, and I'm going to use it here. Where should I put my darkest bit? I think this top bit part here, I try not to get my hand in your way. So top bit here, intense, lots of layers, like that, and then we'll fade it down to here. And we've got a much larger area here, so we can fade it a lot more slowly. Don't worry about this other gemstone, we'll just ignore it, colour around it. And then start to make sure you're fading as you get to the bottom, like that. Our last red is the permanent carmine. Here we go. And I am going to use it here. We've done a dark one there and there. We'll do dark corner here. So this is our darkest bit, this corner. We're going to slowly reduce the colour to that corner. Like that. Now we're going to go back through our colours again. We've got 4 squares, 4 colours. Actually, we'll just stick with the permanent carmine. Do another one with this colour. We'll do this corner. We'll do this edge. It's a bit random. I just have to hope it's going to work, because I can't tell till it's done. There we go. Back to our madder. And I think I do this other top one. I think this time I will do this bottom corner dark, like that, and then make it lighter as I go up to the top, like that. Then we have the alizarin crimson, I'll get it right. This front one here I want to do slightly differently. So I want to start in this corner dark and then fade quite quickly, like that, and then start down here and try and imitate that angle. Fade to the middle like that. Like that. So we've got to shine in a bit of a different place. And then dark red. It's just because I want that to look like it's the front facing face. and when I do it like that, that's how it seems to work. So dark here and lighter towards this side. Again, just colour around this other one, don't worry about it. There we go. Now, to really emphasise the difference between the darker and lighter areas, it can be useful to use a bit of black. Now, black can be quite a scary colour to use in case you use too much, but just go gently. And we're going to start with this face here and just add in some black. And you can see it's black, that's fine. And a bit here. You should be able to see where your darker areas are supposed to be anyway. And the contrast helps it look better still. Now we're going to add some white as well to this, some white pen. We're going to put all our white pen in at the end. So at the moment, this will be our final little bit for now. Okay, and we'll do our other gemstones and we'll do our bird and everything before we put the white pen in there. Our other gemstones are much smaller, so I'm thinking it's going to be a little more difficult to do such big contrast and things like that. But we can still manage. I am just going to randomly grab a pencil. This is the bluish turquoise, I think. No, it's the helio turquoise. I can see the end of an O on there. 155. I can just double check that for you. Yeah, helio turquoise. I'm going to use it on here, and I'm only going to use this because we've got a smaller shape. And I'm going to do it in a slightly different way. So I'm going to start at the bottom here and make this lighter as we go up. And I'm going to do exactly the same on this other side here. Okay, as I say, it's a little bit different. And the same in reverse on this top edge here. And here. And then these three, this one is facing us. So I'm going to do the diagonal thing like I did on the red one. So leave a bit of a thing there. I was going to do it on those two, but I'm not. I'm thinking that bit is closest to us. So this is going to be dark to light there. And dark there and light there. So it's a little bit different to the other one. Just the one colour. It's simpler, I think, and because we've got less room, it's easier to do it that way. But we are going to put a bit of black on if you want to. You don't have to add the black, but a little bit of black just in those areas that I want a little bit darker. So basically in that point at the bottom and those corners there. There we go. So there's another one, really much more quick. We'll do this one in a similar way quite quickly. We want gem colours. Now, I don't use things like light magenta. It's very pastel-y, very milky. I don't find that works for me in a gemstone. I want something that looks bright, that looks like it could be shiny. So for our green, for example, I find that the dark phthalo green is quite a good one. Okay, the deep cobalt green, the bluey greens I feel are better. So with this one, I'm going to go dark here and then light towards here. And the same on this side, so very much the same as this one. And here, same way, dark at the bottom, light up here. And then this one will go this way, so fade up from the edges. And we're going to put this one in the same direction. Okay, and then grab a black. Again, you don't have to do the black bit, it's up to you. It's only going to be a very small amount because we've only got a very small space. A little bit there, a little bit in that corner here, and here, and from the bottom bottom. It just helps to give a bigger contrast. Now our last one is here, obviously. I think I might go for a purple. Yeah, I think I'll use the mauve. I was thinking about doing different colours because it's a slightly bigger, but it's not really big enough for me to do that. So again, we're just going to keep this one simple. So dark here and fade up. Same on this side. Now we have got a page with lots of gemstones on. I did promise I would do it as a series of videos, and I will be. I can't say when. At the moment, I don't know, I haven't really planned. But I'm just thinking about these gemstones. I'm going to make all these dark at the bottom and lighter at the top. But I've got some different books teaching how to do gemstones, and I will probably use those as a bit of a guide. I'm going to make this one darker on each side and lighter in the middle. So I'll probably use some books as guides for some of them. Some of them use just my methods like this, which are a little bit simpler. You know, I try some different things. This is black, and we've got bigger areas to play with like this. So it gives us a bit more scope for different colours and techniques and things. So I think it could be quite fun, to be honest. Now, bird. I'm going to use crown before I do the rest of him. Now normally I would use quite a lot of colours on a crown to achieve a gold. We haven't got much space. I'm going to start with those little gemstones on his crown. I'm going to do them a different colour to these, I think, just because. Maybe a slightly pinkier colour. I think I might go for the middle purple pink actually. I'm going to block them in because they're quite small, and we'll just use a bit of white pen to make them look shiny after, rather than trying to do it within the colouring. It's a very small area. You could, which I can show you, get a red violet and put a tiny bit in the bottom, which I will do, but I don't think it's going to make a big difference. So just a little bit here and here, hardly breathing because it's such a small space. There we go. So for the crown, as I say, we have very little space, so we're going to mainly use the green gold for it. Okay, but in fact I'm just going to start with the green gold. I'm going to add my darker colour after. So what you want to do is put down more layers on the edge here and then reduce towards the middle like that. More layers here and less towards the middle, and then you've got a bit of a shine down here. Same with this back bit, a bit more here, less there, more here, less there. And with this bit, I mean, you could do this like fur or whatever, but I think it's easier to keep it all the same. Now we're going to grab a darker colour. How dark should we go? We'll get, I can't speak. We'll get the nougat and we'll add a little bit of shadow in. Again, you don't have to do this little step if it's too tricky. So just at on the headband bit, I don't know, can't think of a better name, put that on the edges, and on the main crown, just on the edges as well. You can put a little bit of shadow underneath our gemstones if you want to, that's very fiddly, and then a little bit in the bottom of those little V's. There we go. That is it. And I'm also going to use, whoops, the green gold, which I've just dropped, for these 3 stars. And I am just literally going to colour them in. And then, again, get the nougat. Just put a little darker touch on the edge. So probably only in the points, just put a little darker touch. I didn't leave any white in the middle of these. You could do, look, it's a bit more shiny, but I might do that with a white pen after, I don't know yet. Right, so now we just need to colour our bird. And what colour? Well, I had birds, you know, grey, brown, black, white, that sort of thing is a normal bird colour. You could go mad and do it really brightly coloured, but I think I want to go brown. I think it would just help I think it will work. I want a bit more warmth in my picture, so I'm going to go for a very warm brown. So I'm going to start with the brown ochre, which is a nice warm yellowy brown. And I'm going to use this for his tummy. And then I'm just going to see where it leads us, really. I don't know why I'm scumbling it. I think because these little feather marks make him look like he's got little tiny sort of round fluffy belly. So that's why I'm going to keep going with that. Little fluffy scumbly motion. Like that. And where else should we do this colour? I want to do it here under the crown and on the back of his head. This bit looks fluffy too. Yeah. I'm going to go slightly darker. Don't want to go too cold though, so I think I'll grab the burnt sienna. It's a sort of warmer brown. It's got a bit more orangey. And do his little face. Not too hard. A little bit darker. Going for that fluffy look again. I don't know if it's quite working on his face. I think it's okay. But on his wing, we're going to go up and down a bit more. Like that. And do that middle feather there. That middle one there and that middle one there. And try and fade it a bit towards the end. Then, where should we go? I think the walnut brown will work. I think I'm going to use this one. I want to go a bit darker. So we're going in a sort of downward direction on this bit. Maybe fading towards the bottom a bit. I'm trying to decide on the colour of his feet and beak while I'm doing this bit. In there. I think we might go yellow because although it's not very realistic, I think it will match and it will keep that warmth that I was after. So this is the dark Naples ochre and I'm going to use that for the beak. It's quite small, so I'm just going to block it in. And the little legs. Quite long legs, aren't they? I suppose birds do have long legs, don't they? Right, now we are going to use our white. I'm not sure whether to use the 10 or the 5 for this. I think I'm going to start with the Jelly Roll 5 actually for those gemstones in the crown. But I just want this little tiny touch of shine. I might put a few bits in the stars as well. Maybe the outside edges. Now we have some shine here. I can't make that white, it will just disappear. I think I'm just going to leave it how Johanna drew it. Now the edge of our gemstones, I'm going to block out some of this black line a little bit. I don't want it to completely disappear because then we don't see the edge of our shape, but we can put some dots and lines and things on top of the gemstone to make it look shinier. So here we can sort of bring a bit here. So think about where it's white and the lines might be fainter, like here, sort of here and here. And then think there might be some lines like this. I mean, Johanna's drawn us in these lines here, which you could use for guidance, like these dots. But I like to do a little bit more like that. And the white just looks like there's some sort of reflection. Ooh, someone's using some sort of drill. There we go, and then a few lines in the dark bit. So the darker we make the dark bit, the more our little white lines will show up. It's quite hard to be accurate here with your pen. Do your best and any little white mark will just look like some sort of reflection anyway. I'm going to go over that and these. I might just I think we're done. I think I'm happy. You could go around the edge of your stars in a glitter pen. Oh, I just had an enormous sneeze. You could go around your edge of your stars in the white or in a glitter pen or around the crown, but actually I'm quite happy with it as it is. So I'm going to leave it there. Oh, sorry. Sneezy. So there we go. But as I say, when we do the gemstone page, I will look through some tutorials in the books that I've got. I will credit the books and let you know, so you can get the books if you want more detailed help. I have books by a couple of different people that show how to do it, so I thought it might be useful to use those and you know, demonstrate from them. And then you might want to get them and practice more yourself. But that's just a few little ideas on how you can have a little go at those. But thank you for watching today. I hope that you have a really super day and happy colouring.